Welcome back to Cartoon Analysis. I'm your host Giovanni Perez Mendez, and in this video, I will be reviewing Season 3 Episode 6, Part 1 of Star vs. the Forces of Evil, other known as Club Snubbed. Let's check it out. As an introduction, Moon explains and announces the beginning of the Silver Bell Ball. At this dance, all heirs of each king and queen must dance with one another to keep the bond between all of them in healthy condition. The king and queen of the Forest of Unlikely Spider Bites decide to call out the Moony Kingdom for being taken control of Ludlo's rats and his leadership. And this upsets King River, saying it was way more difficult to deal with than you think. Star and Ponyhead then begin eyeing out the different princes and communicate with the princesses. Especially Ponyhead, as we see her crush, Prince Larry Kelbottom. Star also tries communicating with one of her cousins, but he repeatedly ignores her. Later on, Ponyhead notices Tom is late and tries to create drama between him and Star. Star then tries to create herself into a better princess by ignoring the drama, focus on work, and be a self-advisable person. Right after, Tom makes an entrance and by burning down the main door, wearing sunglasses, and his parents follow behind. The ball begins with a bow commencement and Star is ignored by Tom, who is club snubbing her and bows to everyone else. Since Star doesn't fully understand what this made-up term means, Ponyhead shows an example by club snubbing her own crush, Prince Kelbottom. According to the term, it means to ignore someone and wait until it aggravates them enough to come over and admit their feelings through jealousy or start feeling emotions towards the other. When it's time to dance, no one offers to go, and Tom then decides to take initiative and seems like he is walking over to Star. Manfred then begins explaining the history behind the two of them, and this annoys Star, but Tom suddenly club snubs her and asks Princess Jazz to dance. This annoys Star out of jealousy, since she still has feelings for Marco, and only wants for Tom to know she is not interested in him. Star begins dancing with others, and the club snubbing begins. After all of it is over, Tom and Star are the only ones remaining, and Star makes her final club snub by dancing with Manfred. Before she does though, the parents of Star and Tom are worried the two won't dance together and pretend they were waiting as a finale. But they definitely were wrong about this. This annoys River and Dave, and both begin to argue about who was club snubbing who, along with Tom leaving the dance in disappointment and acting as if he was the victim. Star follows behind him and starts arguing with him and knows he was club snubbing her. But Tom doesn't see it as that way and tells her the only reason he had ignored her was because he had thought she and Marco were dating. Realizing it's time to move on, Star also finds out that Tom thought he knew about her and Marco being a couple since he was there at song day. But she explains they aren't together. She only wanted a friend at this point and was upset he was ignoring her. Tom thought he was doing the right thing by giving her space, but Star's argument is it's wrong to completely ignore her during the entire ball. This enrages Tom and he burns his carriage along with Star, casting Cloudy to argue with him in the sky. But before it can get any further along in this conversation, a chair bursts through a window, waking them up from their argument. We see King River and King Dave furiously wrestling and arguing about being allies. The main reason Dave doesn't want to be allies anymore is that of the destruction Toffee had caused. Their arguing continues as Star decides to do the right thing and dance with Tom, along with being angry and upset about it in the beginning. As the dance continues, Dave and River stop arguing and fighting, along with Star and Tom realizing they have mutual feelings for one another. This beautiful dance was very well animated and thought out, especially as Star and Tom begin spiraling into the air on magic. As the dance ends, this causes everyone to be happy and satisfied, especially Tom and Star. Tom decides to ask Star out on a little friend date to see how things will go, and she accepts. As the episode ends, Ponyhead leaves with all the other male heirs with a new club snub record, and Star and Tom happily laugh at that, and Star then smiles at Tom, realizing she has feelings for him again. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on bell notifications to be notified of whenever I upload or stream. Leave a like and comment down below your thoughts and opinions. Finally, share this with your friends and family to help my community, Team Analyzer, become stronger. I'm your host Giovanni Perez Mendez, signing off.